Have you ever wished that you had a master floral designer that you could have stand beside you step by step and teach you the process of floral design? My name is Kirby Holt. I'm a master floral designer with more than 25 years of experience in the business, and I want to show you step by step how to create beautiful floral designs with the kits from myfloraldesign.com. I hope you enjoy this video and this series. I have a great mini arrangement for you today that's just a small accent piece you could use on an end table, in a bookcase, in a bathroom. And we're just using the seashell container. I'm going to put some succulents in it. To start off with, we've already glued in the styrofoam and just a little layer of moss on that for you. And I have a cluster of succulents and then just one extra succulent we're going to use. And I'm going to take my knife, and it's good for this design or this project to have a knife and a pair of wire cutters. You'll need both of those items to execute this arrangement. But I'm going to just strip away that rubber stem. You'll see underneath those stems are taped together, but once you get that rubber off, you can pull all of these single stems out, and that'll allow us to separate it, trim off some of the excess wire that we don't need, and place them separately into the container and create a little bit of a garden effect with these succulents. So to start off with, I'm going to use this first one. It's a Tillandsia. It's an air plant actually, and just cut off most of that stem. I'm cutting off maybe a little over 3 inches, and I'm only leaving about 1 inch on there. And I'm going to put that right into the center, and that just creates our center point, a little bit of height. And then I want to determine the length of the arrangement, and I'm going to use these 2 fern leaves off to one end. I'm going to place this one right in, kind of underneath and coming out from the bottom of that little Tillandsia plant. And then I have a second one, because you never want to just place one of those. You want to always have at least 2 so that one can kind of shelter the other. And then we get 2 levels going on there. And see, I've got one, that one's almost kind of curving in behind the first one. And that's what it would do if it were in nature. And so the second one I'm going to take, again, cut about 3 inches off, just about 1 inch to push into the foam and push it into the other side. So now I have determined the height and the length of the arrangement. Now we have a couple of succulents here, and I'm going to use those to establish the sides of the arrangement. One will just go in right here. Now that one is a little thicker, and you're going to kind of have to get on top of it to get it to go in. And then this one will go to the other side. So now we only have a couple of small spaces here that need to be filled in. And I'll take some of these smaller, almost like little buds of succulents, and place those in, one kind of low. Then I have another real tiny one here. I'm going to cut most of that stem off, just leave enough that I can come in and place it right underneath that Tillandsia, right on top of the styrofoam. That's not wanting to go in because of that stem, so I'm going to just trim it just a little bit to kind of point it. Maybe I can do that with my wire cutters. Just trim just a little bit of a point onto it, and that way I can get it to go down into that styrofoam. I have another one that I've cut that's about just the same, but it's just a little tiny bit shorter. I'm putting that in right beside that one. And then I have a small, just a really mini, that I'm going to place right in at the bottom there. And again, as we talked about on some of the other videos, if you've watched them, you can hot glue, just a little dab of hot glue on the tips of some of these as you place them in, and that way they'll stay once you finish that insertion. Now I have one last of the larger succulents, and it's going to go right here on this side, go right into that foam, and then I'll take this last little stem. I want to use part of that stem and let it kind of pop away just a little bit. I'm going to go in between those 2 succulents, right into that styrofoam underneath, and just let that one look like it's just kind of growing out there to the side. So a wonderful little mini succulent garden, be a great accent piece in, right beside a lamp, on an end table, in a bathroom, on a shelf, on a bookshelf, so many places that something like this could be used to give just a little spot of nature in your decor. Thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed this today. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I encourage you to browse the library of arrangements and videos on our website, myfloraldesign.com.